Okay, now we're on to Unit 8. All right, and what I'm going to start doing is tagging these videos with my picture in it. Okay, this is me here back in the day. Notice I had the fuller head of hair um, and drawing on a whiteboard, not a smartboard. Okay, um, let's look at the challenge problem for this section. Okay, we have 2x squared y to the fourth times 4x squared y to the fourth times 3x all over 3x to negative third y squared. Okay, so this unit we're going to learn how to simplify exponents, make them a little easier. Okay, now if you know a little bit about exponents and simplifying them, try the challenge problem out. See if you could get it right. Okay, pause the video right now. All right, if not, okay, you know what we're going to do is learn how to manipulate this and make it a little easier to work with. Okay, in the end, after you simplify this, you should get 8x to the 7th y to the 6th. Okay, a lot easier to use than all this mess right here. Okay, and all we're going to do is learn how to simplify exponents with different properties. Okay, the first property we're going to talk about, or we're just going to talk about exponents first. All right, what is an exponent? Exponent is something raised to a certain power. Okay, you have a couple parts to the exponent. You have the base, which is the bigger number. All right, what's getting multiplied by, and you have your power. All right. Okay, and right here, what I want you to do is write a e. Okay, and then I want you to erase it and put an x. All right, to make sure you're listening. All right, so here's your power 5, and what this means is we're going to do 4, not 4 times 5. We're going to do 4 5 times. 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. Okay, and obviously this equals a large number. Okay, because if we were going to solve this, we could do 4 times 4, which is 16, and this is 16, and then we have this extra 4 here. So we do 16 times 16 times 4, and you get 1024. Okay, for this unit we're not going to do too many calculations or big calculations like this. What we're going to be working on is basically just simplifying it, make it easier to work with. All right, so there's going to be a lot of variables and not numbers, but there will be some. Okay. All right, on to the first property. The first property is the zero exponent property. Okay, what this means is if we have a base, and in this case our base is a, some number, okay, raised to the 0 power, okay, so 0 times, it is 1, okay, and this only works that if a does not equal 0. Okay, so if this number here is 0, then that doesn't apply. Okay, all right, but any number raised to 0 power is 1. Okay, so 8 to the 0 is 1. Negative 10 to the 0 power is 1. N to the 0 power is 1. Okay, and that's the zero exponent property. Next one is the negative exponent property. The negative exponent property says that if I have a number raised to a negative power, well, that's going to equal the reciprocal raised to the power, the positive power. Okay, so basically what we do is we just flip it around. If it's negative, we bring it to the denominator and make it positive. All right, so 6 to the negative third is 1 over 6 to the third. Okay, and if you want to simplify that, 1 to the 6 times 6 times 6. All right, and 6 times 6 times 6 I believe, is 216. So 1 over 216. Okay, x to the negative 4 is 1 over x to the 4th. All right, and we can't simplify that because we don't know what x is. All right, vice versa, if you have 1 over x to the negative 3rd, well, we bring that to the numerator. Okay, so that's x to the 3rd. Okay, or if we have x to the negative 2 and y to the negative 5, well, y would go up in the numerator, and we'd make that positive, and x would go to the denominator, and we make that positive as well. Okay, so anytime we have a negative exponent, we're going to put it in the other part of a fraction. So if it's negative in the denominator, it goes to the numerator. If it's negative in the numerator, it goes to the denominator. Next property, the product of powers. The product of powers. What does product mean? Well, product means times. All right, product when we multiply powers. Okay, all right, and in this case, when we multiply like bases. All right, like bases. All right, so if we have a to the b power times a to the c power, well, that's the same as saying a to the b plus c. Okay, b plus c. All right, and real simple. Okay, let's do an easy one. So 2 to the 2 power times 2 to the 3 power, okay, based off this rule, is 2 to the 2 plus 3, or 2 to the 5th. Okay, and if you use your calculator and you do 2 to the 5th, which is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 5 times, you get 32. Okay, and let's see, 2 squared is 4. 2 to the 3rd, 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Well, what's 4 times 8? That's 32. Okay, so it's the same thing. All right, that's why this property works. So 6 to the 2nd times 6 to the 10th is 6 to the 2 plus 10, or 6 to the 12th. Okay, and we're not going to solve this out, okay, because you get a big great number. We're multiplying 6 12 times, so just write it out. All right, negative 2 to the 8th times negative 2 is negative 2 to the 9th. Okay, and then just as a quick review, if anything doesn't have a power, it's always to the first, because negative 2 to the 1 is just negative 2. All right, so it's 8 plus 1 is 9. All right, now we start to look at some negative ones. Okay, we have x to the 3rd times x to the negative 2. X to the 3rd, so we do x3 plus negative 2. Well, what's 3 plus negative 2? That's 1, or just anything to the first power like this is just itself. Okay. All right, and then the last one, 4 to the negative 8 times 4 to the 4th. So we have 4 to the negative 8 plus 4 is 4 to the negative 4th. All right, what happens here? Okay, we have a negative exponent, so we use the negative exponent rule. We bring it to the denominator and make it positive. All right, and 4 to the 4th, we might be able to simplify 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, and you get 256. All right, let's do a couple more. A to the 2nd times a to the negative 2nd, so a2 plus negative 2 is a to the 0. Well, this goes to the zero power rule, sorry, which is 1. Anything raised to the 0 power is 1. B times b to the third. All right, remember there's that invisible 1 here for the exponent. So b to the 1 plus 3 is b to the fourth. Okay, now we have a to the fifth times b to the third. All right, what's a to the fifth times b to the third? Well, now they're not like bases. Okay, the rest of them were. Okay, like bases, like bases. Okay, so we can't do anything here. We can't add the exponents. All right, so it's going to just be a to the fifth, b to the third, times b to the third. We don't need this. All right, if they're written next to each other, it's given that it's multiplication. All right, continue on to the practice problems. All right, and please ask me questions if you have any on this video or on the practice.